Welcome to the Entrepreneur Podcast, where we take a look inside the lives of the accomplished and successful businessmen and women. We'll get up close and personal with the founders of booming startups. So lean in and prepare to carry away something to skyrocket your own business. Please subscribe to our show and do leave us a review. It means a lot to us. Now, here's your host, Rajiv.
Hey listeners, welcome to the Entrepreneur Talk Show. I'm your host Rajiv Unikrishnan, and this is the show where we talk about entrepreneurship and speak to great founders, entrepreneurs, and investors. Today we have with us Vincent Woon, founder of Holistics, a cloud business intelligence software company. Welcome, Vincent.
Hi, Rajiv. Hi, everyone.
Great. So just to
Nice to
intro,
meet you.
Holistics is a cloud-based SQL data analysis and exploration platform which helps you connect your databases to get data-driven insights that you need. A brief about Vincent. He lives in Singapore, has done his business degree from the National University of Singapore, spent a year at Stanford doing his engineering. He started his career in business development for various enterprise tech companies, and he's also a member of the Beta Gamma Sigma and Honors organization, whose members are normally very academically driven. Again, Vincent, welcome to the show. Do let us know of any gaps in the intro, and do let us know what's going on in your world today.
Hi, Rajiv. Thanks so much. I think that's a pretty nice intro. Thanks for sharing that. Yes, yeah, I mean, like, it's great to be here with everyone here.
All right, great. So before we get into the product or business, I normally always ask my guests is, do you have any passions outside of work?
Sure. So basically, I'm very interested in Chinese philosophy. So it's actually started with the Tao Te Ching. It's kind of like a Taoist text. It talks about a way of living. And, I think from there, it spreads into other branches of Chinese studies. So I actually studied traditional Chinese medicine and introductory course on it. And I've also taken some literary classics like the I Ching. So I think that influenced a lot on the way I live my lifestyle and how I handle things.
Oh, excellent. So moving on to the actual product and business. So of course, what inspired the idea for Holistics.io?
Sure. So I used to work with my co-founder Hui back in college,
Uh-huh.
and when he graduated, he built a software. He worked as a data engineer for one of the startups, and he was handling like 100 million records a day. And when we met together, he shared with me that, hey, Vincent, I built a software for the company, and it seems quite popular. Do you think it makes sense to bring it to market? And we had a chat with the company. We discussed the agreement with them, talked through it, had some chats, and that's how we actually got started.
And what would the vision be for the company?
The vision is actually to make data insights more accessible between people and systems. Right now, we see a problem that data are now locked up in different places. It could be in customers' application database, especially for startups, and you see a whole bunch of online tools that comes in. And managing this data just to get information that they find useful, different charts, different reports, can be quite difficult. Depending on what they do and getting out to other systems. So what we want to do is to make this a lot smoother of the data flow.
Excellent. When you thought of the idea, was it only you to take this project off the ground and make it a reality? Any co-founders?
Yes, I work with two co-founders. So we actually work on the software itself. So he actually created the first version of the software.
Okay.
And both of us, we actually work with Tang. So he also worked with us concurrently on it. Tang worked as a data consultant, and he used to work on large-scale government and banks data projects, data integration projects. So his last company was Revolution Analytics, which was actually bought over by Microsoft. And Hui's company, the company that Hui worked with, was bought over by Rakuten. So, and then for myself, my company was also bought over at what I was working for. So, I think that was a chance for the three of us to work together. And for me, I run business development for the past 7 to 10 years already, for different kind of tech products.
Okay. Excellent. So it's like all of you all have come out of companies that have been acquired or sold. That's great. Looking into your product and website, I can see that Holistics.io streamlines a user's processes to manage, analyze, and access the data, right? How exactly, if you were to take the end-to-end flow, does Holistics work for a customer?
So basically, the customer, they connect their database to our application server securely.
Yep.
And once that is done, we kind of make it flexible for them to write formulas within our system based on the industry standard called SQL. And with that formulas itself, they can extract the data sets that you want, and they can visualize it. They can also schedule the reports to be sent to them on a regular basis. And they can also set up alerts, just to get access to the data that they need. And most importantly, if they have data from different places, they can merge them together, transform them all in one single platform.
Okay, and when you say data from different sources, is it from any sort of database, or you're stuck with, let's say, Oracle DB or certain types of databases?
Well, we work with the databases that's pretty popular, like Postgres, MySQL, Oracle is included, Microsoft. So you can have that as a core database for you to access your data. At the same time, you have different web applications, right? Like be it like Facebook ads, Pipedrive, or Google
Correct.
Spreadsheets. We can also move those data to your own database. So now you have a single source of truth.
Okay. And in terms of the data modeling and the visualization, how does it work? Is it somewhat similar to the big data tools out there today?
Yes. Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, in the sense that we still provide charts and dashboards. The value add that we provide is actually about preparing the data sets. So most of the visualization tools, if you give them the prepared data sets, like in the pivot table form, it's kind of quite easy for them to visualize the data. And Holistics, we go one step deeper to help you prepare the data, because that's actually where it takes a lot of time, combining the data, transforming the data in a flexible manner, and
Yeah.
then being able to visualize them.
And the data that gets prepared, do you all offer it to the users front end system, or you all also offer your own front end system for probably using the data to you throw probably real time offers or any such thing?
So basically, we display the data into their browsers.
Okay.
We don't actually store our customers' data at all. Most of our customers have very sensitive data.
Correct.
So their data, the one thing unique about us is that we actually work with their data where it sits. So they don't have to think about moving their data to us, or how long it takes to, for the data to get updated.
Correct.
So what we do is that we basically present their own data to them in their browser. And it's kind of quite amazing how difficult this process can be, when we actually look into it. And that's the problem we try to solve.
Okay. So do you all, I mean, it's obviously, I think, looks like a typical SaaS application, but do you all also do it on-prem?
No, right now we are focusing on doing it on a SaaS application, not for on-premise.
Okay.
The reason is that we do have quite a few areas of development, and we actually have team members from different countries also.
Oh, got it. And so your revenue model would be monthly subscription, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
And when it comes to growth, I can see that, I mean, you had mentioned to me you have almost clocking close to 500K. So how is it looking right now? I mean, in terms of the growth and the outlook so far?
Right. I think we've grown 5x, 5 times since the first day we
Oh,
started.
excellent. Okay.
In terms of the monthly recurring, and we are quite optimistic about the whole situations. More and more companies are getting aware about it. What surprises us is that we started with the hypothesis that startups will be interested in us, but more and more we actually see customers from corporates working with us. So, for example, one of the largest shopping mall in Thailand just signed on the subscription with us, and we are quite excited about that.
Excellent. And when you're looking at the trend, your customers are typically coming in from which parts? Is it all typically Southeast Asia, or you're seeing it from all over?
So we have customers from 15 countries around the world right now, and we are seeing more and more interest from different parts of the world. One of our latest customers comes from Kazakhstan, and I think we do have a few customers whose language we don't even understand.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
They try it and they like it, and they just sign up by themselves.
Okay. In terms of, competition, I know there are a lot of products that do this today in different types of scale and different types of customers. What makes you all, what do you think makes you all unique?
So if you look at the data space, there's actually quite a few categories, right? So you have tools that provide a specific pre-built reports for maybe your marketing and traffic analytics. So they track your events, they give you some analytics. You have tools that give you like just visualization. You have tools that just focus on integrating data.
Yep.
And the problem is that if you look at it from an end user perspective, from a data team perspective, they have to handle these different tools working together. Some of them with overlapping capabilities, some of them just doesn't cover the gaps of each other, and they need to learn different tools. So what we do is that we don't see data visualization and data preparation as two separate products that people have to jump between, but we see them feeding into each other to help teams to get more agile in the speed that they can do the build reports that the business needs.
Oh, great. So when it comes to, I mean, of course, it's your newer company. Is it still bootstrapped, family, friends, or been through any accelerator? Or what's the plan? Have you raised any money?
We have self-funded since day one with customer revenue. So we were very fortunate to have been able to acquire customers at a speed that was able to sustain our growth.
Correct.
So we don't have any immediate plans to get funding, but we are still looking out for investors, just to look to see whether we can actually align our goals with them.
Correct,
But
correct.
For now, we are pretty comfortable.
And any plans to go to any accelerator that's there in the market today?
We've explored a few. I think we are at a stage where we are probably I think we are in an awkward stage where we are like post-seed, but we don't think we are ready yet for Series A. So I think we'll continue to find out the mechanisms on how do we actually accelerate our growth ourselves.
Correct. And what's your current team size like, Vincent?
We have 12 team members across Singapore, Vietnam, Indonesia, and we most recently in the United States.
These are all fully employed, or you have outsourced some stuff also?
Fully employed.
Oh, excellent.
Yes.
So when you, look at the, you've been with you and the team members have been in different corporate jobs. But when did you know that you were meant for entrepreneurship and took the jump and actually decided to take the jump?
Sure. So I think it was way back in 2004. I left the military service back then, and while waiting for my college to start, I actually had the chance to work on a few prototypes of some tech products, right? And I wanted to start something right out of school, but I changed my mind because I find that there's a lot of things that I wasn't that sure about.
Correct.
So I want to learn a lot more from how the world works in general, and I'm quite happy we did that. And in fact, between the three of us, right now in the past few years that I've been running this, the knowledge I've learned in the past 7 years has been very helpful for me to make decisions.
Okay. And over time, over these years of your life, who has inspired you the most?
There's a lot of them actually. So I think like my top influences is definitely my parents. They shape a lot of my life values from a personal, life basis.
Yep.
And then from the professional perspective, I find that a lot of my past managers ends up being very good mentors for me. So when I was working in the States for 1 year, there was my mentor was Roy. So he actually helped me understand a lot about how the enterprise marketing space works.
Correct.
Right? Then after, I have a lot of sales mentors, because of the nature of my role.
Correct.
And all of them taught me different styles on engaging with customers and how to read them, their sincerity. So I think that those were some of the most, pretty good mentors that I had.
And looking at all these mentors over the years, what has been the best advice that you have been given?
The best advice that I've been given is actually about commitment, right? Once you commit to something, you know why you're doing this, and you continue working on it, and you understand why people will want to buy into your commitment. Why would people be interested in it?
Exactly. So what's something that's getting you and the team really excited at present? Any new launch coming up?
Yes, we do. So we are actually coming out with a product that actually helps customers that doesn't know SQL learn SQL without knowing that they are learning SQL.
Oh, excellent! that will be an interesting thing to watch out for. That will be really okay. And where do you see yourself and your business in the next 2 to 3 years?
I think we will still continue to. The vision is actually to be a global company. So I do like the ability. I do like the understanding of like team members from different cultures. So we would like to have team members in different parts of the world. So we will start with Southeast Asia to have like an India to
Okay.
have team members in there that engage the local community, the companies and the startups in that region, helping them with the data needs, understanding firsthand, what we can do to evolve,
Okay.
right? So that will be our
Okay.
immediate.
So now we need to move to a part of the show which is a quick fire round. So simple, brief answers. Right.
Right.
So when people ask you, what do you do? How do you answer that?
So basically, I tell them I work for the software company.
Okay. What's the first word that comes to mind when I say work?
Engagements,
Family?
commitment,
Entrepreneurship?
dedication,
Technology?
glued,
Food?
delight,
Okay. And book?
intrigued. I mean, like, interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's one piece of tech that you can't live without?
Email.
Okay. What do you excel at that people might not realize?
Being able to read a person's character, their risk appetite, and their aptitude for growth, even though they may not actually communicate it to me explicitly.
Okay. And your favorite city globally?
Sorry,
Favorite city globally?
Singapore.
Okay. Any last thought or piece of advice that you want to give our listeners?
Um, I think it's important to learn something new every day, and to make sure the rate at which you are learning new things, corresponds at least, with your appetite. I mean, balance it with your salary increase and stuff, but
Correct.
make sure that you are learning new things that correspond to it. Because I've seen people who make a lot, but they feel miserable because they don't feel that they are learning and growing.
That's very well said. Very true. And please let our listeners know how they can reach you and also holistics.io.
Sure. Yes, they can reach me at Vincent at holistics.io, or they can reach our friendly team, hello at holistics.io. Just reach out to us. We even have a free SQL email service called SQL Geeks at
Okay.
holistics.io. So basically, you have any SQL queries you want to troubleshoot, just send it to us, and our team will get back to you.
All right, great. So, listeners, Vincent has been kind enough to offer promo code upon sign up. The promo code will be revealed in the show. It's TAE 2017, which will enable you all to enjoy additional 2 weeks of free trial. Thanks, Vincent, for that. So again, Vincent, thanks for taking the time to talk to us and inspiring our listeners to start their own ventures, and all the very very best at building holistics.io.
Thank you so much, Rajiv, and thanks everyone
All right.
for listening.
Do visit holistics.io, that's holistics.io, and visit us at theasianentrepreneur.com to get the show notes. And do subscribe to the show on all the platforms. Thank you.
Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to the show so you don't miss an episode. In the meantime, head over to theasianentrepreneur.com and check out show notes and other information to motivate you in your entrepreneurial endeavors.